How's it going, YouTube? Coinciding today with another video, and today, guys, what to bring to you is my updated striker list for the new format. This format is definitely going to be interesting because the ban list was so crazy, and it was something that just really caught everyone off guard. You know, there's so many cards that are just legal now that everyone's like, there is no way. But, you know, it happens. It really does sometimes. So I'm really excited to be able to bring you all my new list. I think that there's an interesting place for striker in the format right now because of the fact that Dry and Bird aren't really decks right now. They might find their way back into the format, but it's something where a lot of people are just kind of writing them off. I'm sure that they're going to find their way to find some kind of combo, but at the same time, they're not going to be able to put up the same degenerate boards that they usually do. That's really important here because when you're playing striker, you really want to be able to just go second and smash that board. Because if you go first, if they open up like alpha zeta, a lot of times you're just like not breaking that board with like your one anchor you got or like the hand trap that you opened, right? Like it's just really tough. So, in my opinion, if you have the ability to go second right now against all the back row decks, and then I think one of the best combo decks is going to be like Dragon, and then we have like Prank Kid that's going to be the best deck of the format with 3 skill drain. We'll talk about the best decks of the format in another video, but it's still going to be really important to kind of keep your mind on the fact that Striker has the amazing opportunity right now to go first safely or to go second and just blow out back row decks. So we're going to be showing off a couple different lists today to kind of mitigate the issues you'll be having in different matchups, and it really will kind of account for whatever deck takes over that top spot, and then you can kind of like switch over to that list. That's why I'm going to show you a couple different today, so you have a better idea of things that you can kind of switch in and out. So to start things off today, I have a going first list. I really do like going first right now. I think that going first is going to be very nice. I think that I'll be going second still. I think that that's still like the best way to go about it, especially with 3 skill drain. I'm going to be showing you a super spicy list in the very end of this video, so definitely stick around for that. It's something that you can kind of take it how it is. It's kind of like Keck W, but at the same time, it could be kind of cool. So we'll talk about that. So the first thing I want to mention here is that Silent Graveyard is a wonderful card. I brought this up before in previous videos, and I really want you to be aware that this card is a thing. This card is going to dominate next format. It's going to be actually just insane. A discard 1 card, effects that activate in the graveyard this turn are negated. Yes, your Ray is going to be kind of unfortunate at that point, but at the same time, if you're playing against things like Prank Kid, things like Phantom Knight, these decks just can't play through this card. This card is just super deadly. It doesn't matter what they chain block with. Like, it's going to be it, right? It's just like a lingering effect. So for me, I think this card can be nuts. It's also a free spell engrave. And if you discard a spell, there you go. You know, spell count. So that'd be really cool. You go like set anchor, activate this, and you can like discard 1. Then you have like your 3 spells if you already had another one in there. So I like that card a lot. But so for my hand traps, I'm always main decking the Nibiru. I think that it's just safe. If Dragon takes the top spot, I would probably pull out Nibiru and I wouldn't play it, and I would probably sub it out for like Valor. The reason being is because against Dragon, Nibiru sucks. Because at that point, they would just summon Hermetic Seal, and then you Nibiru them, and then they go Red MD, and then summon back 1 from their graveyard, and then continue their combo like nothing happened, right? So at that point, you really shouldn't be playing Nibiru against that deck. And then against like the Brave Engine, Nibiru isn't really that good if you're playing against like Prank Kid. But there's going to be a lot of random rogue, and especially like when you're trying to figure out a format, especially at the beginning of the format, Nibiru is always just insane because people are just not ready for it. I still think that it's worth it for now. But again, if we start seeing decks like Prank Kid, decks like Dragon really starting to take over that top spot, we'll talk about taking it out of the list and playing something different instead for now. But I am playing Meister and I'm playing Bell. I think these cards are really important. They really need to be in the deck somewhere. These are the cards that really do kind of dumpster the meta next round, really. So you have like Hermetic Seal that you can hit with the Meister in the grave. You have the Phantom Knight cards that you can Meister. You can Bell the Scythe effect. You can Bell the DP effect. You can Bell the Fog Blade to bring back the pop. There's a lot that you can really hit with these. Invoke Shadal Dogmatica got off with the slap on the wrist. So at that point, you can always just go ahead and Bell them too. So overall, just very, very good generically out the whole format. So I really do like this a lot. Ash came back into the meta now, in my opinion, because of the fact that Elvish is going to be one of the best decks. Prank Kids also really get hurt by Ash. So this card is just really good in a more control format versus a more combo format, because against decks like Bird Up and Drytron, it doesn't really do anything. So I don't really want to play it. That's why I always sided it for my Elvish matchups or like control matchups. But like just in the main deck now, it feels a lot better. I'm still main decking Cosmics because Scythe didn't get hit for some reason. So we're just going to go ahead and keep Cosmicing away the Scythe so we don't have to worry about that. Because, Kek W. But that just makes me feel a lot better having this in there because you have Cannon and you have Cosmic to try to out it. So just overall very good here. The other thing too is that we play There Can Be Only One. Very, very good card. Still, when you're going first, this card is just going to be ridiculous. And you just need something that you're going to be able to just flip up on your opponent and not just die. Because that's always the problem, right? Like if they ever have like the Bell for your Ray or if they crow it or what have you, you just don't want to lose right then and there. So having this as kind of like a last resort and flipping it when you need it still feels very safe. As for the extra deck, I added in the Dark Charmer. We're getting this in like 10 days from Battles of Chaos. Very, very strong card, especially in this format, being able to, or like this coming format, being able to reborn like the DPEs, any like the Phantom Knight cards, or like what have you. There's so many different things that go in the grave that are dark nowadays. So I definitely like this because also if it gets killed by your opponent, you just search Ray. You literally just search Ray, which is just insane. So I like that card a lot. Really, really nice. The other thing too is that I'm playing double Zeke. I love this so much, and Master Duel put in a ton of work. I used to play double Zeke in my TCG list like probably a couple months ago, and I couldn't really find the space to keep it, especially because we had to play Phoenix because of IO. Now you could still play Phoenix because of Anti-Spell, but I'm not playing Phoenix anymore unless Anti-Spell becomes like a really big issue. So I'm playing double Zeke. Double Zeke puts in way too much work. Like telling you right now, this is just actually insane. Having the second one comes up way more than I ever once thought. So I'm really excited to keep this in the deck. Other than that, going first, it's pretty bread and butter. I only play one Area Zero now. I know that I like to play two because of the Nibiru and wanting to clear it, but you're playing so many hand traps that like at that point you can just like normal a hand trap if you really need to, and you can normal out like your Meister and go dark, and then you can normal out your Ash and then go Hida. So these also work in conjunction with like clearing your Nibiru, which is pretty cool, and then giving you like extra advantage. So I like that a lot. I think that's really important just to note there. We're going to be going off into my going second list and exactly what I changed out of there. So this is my going second list. I still have the same thing in the extra deck. I'm playing Dark and double Zeke. You might notice that we don't have the 3 desires, of course, because that got hit. We're still playing the 1. You absolutely have to do that. This is still important. It's still a free draw too. You just don't draw desires and desires anymore, right? No, I just hate that. There's no reason this is that 1. But the deck already plays so many 1-ofs, so why not another? Why not? I changed out the 2 desires, though, with 1 Pankratops and 1 booster. 1 Pankratops is really important because when you have Pank in a format right now where Dry and Bird aren't decks, then you don't have to worry about summoning this and it not being able to do a whole lot. Whereas now, if you're playing against like Eldritch and they have Skill Drain, this thing tributes your cost. So it works like Ray, and it'll just be able to pop that Skill Drain, which is super important. So I definitely recommend keeping this in the deck because this is another card that's just going to help you out in the long run, especially just having that main deck out for problematic cards. The other thing too is that when you're going second, sometimes you really just want the booster because you want your Kagari to resolve, or if you're going for like your Charmer play, you can go ahead and booster it. You can go ahead and booster out like your access code if need be as well, just in case they have like Imperm or something, right? Just to put it down to 23 again. So I like having the booster around, especially if you're on like the Hulk Selene line. I think that's fine. I personally wouldn't play the Hulk Selene line. I just don't like it. It's too fragile still. But this format is definitely going to be interesting moving forward with the hits that we have so far, because Striker kind of got off unscathed really, which it really wasn't doing too much, but it's still at top tables. The 1 Desires is definitely just a sword soul hit, but at the same time it's still kind of unfortunate because that really does hurt us because that's the extra card in your hand, and ripping Desires always feels great. So we just kind of have to move past that and just kind of deal with the deck as it is now. Now the last one that I'm going to bring for you is something that I said was kind of Kek W, but like at the same time it's kind of fun. So if you're looking for something different to play when it comes to Striker, I have a list for you. Not saying that it's the most insane, but I think that the theory is there. So I got quite a few messages about a card that came off the ban list to not 3, but to 2, and it was Scapegoat. So you can do this, and I'm just entertaining the fact of it. So you can do this, but so you have to realize there's one card that we used to play when Black Garden was a thing back in Orcus format, and that was Power Code Talker. And this card just requires 3 monsters. So if you flip Scapegoat, you can just make Power Code Talker, and then you can do Link Spider, and then you can make Access Code right away. So off of 1 Scapegoat, it's just Access Code. Of course, you can still do like Boros or things if you want to, but this is still like a really really nice way to go about it. So at that point too, let's say you're playing against like the Eldlik match, right? They have skill drain, and you're like, wow, this sucks. So you're playing booster. And so what's really cool about that is that you can go ahead and booster your access code, and then you already have 2 links in your graveyard at that point with different attributes, and you can go ahead and just pop things. So I think that's really cool because this is just a really nice little combination here to kind of just dumpster back row decks at the same time. And we're, of course, doing the Ash and the Meister Bell thing again with the One Desires. I'm also main decking Strike because I feel like this is another card that could come back in the format now. I feel like it's pretty high impact. I like it a lot still. So just another thing to kind of keep in mind. But I hope that you enjoy these lists. I think that they're going to be really impactful for the format. I think that they're going to be, this one's just going to be fun. These 2 are going to be ones that I'll probably hone in on, my going second the most, and then my going first potentially. But this is still something where I wanted to give you an update and kind of show you what was going on with the deck and what we're going to be doing. So I hope that you all have a wonderful night, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Thank you.